Hi, welcome back everybody. This is a new series I might just do if you guys like it enough. This is a world that you are not familiar with. This is not Dreamcraft. This is not Dreamcraft Lite. This is my personal realms that I've set up with a few friends. And so it's kind of closed off. I only accept a few people on here to kind of keep it inactive, or not inactive, but um, kind of keep it quiet so that if everyone needs kind of peace and quiet with still other players in the world, they can do so. So hopefully today I can show you guys a little world tour. It's going to be a longer video than you guys might want. It's probably going to be around 30 to 45 minutes just because of how much we've done to the world. It started back in December, I want to say, with my fiance, and us two would just play Minecraft together. Eventually, somewhere in January, I opened it up to a couple other players, and as they've gone on and I've stayed on, we've kind of done a lot to the world. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on this one, see how you guys like the world. I might do a little series on here if you guys do like it, and if not, you can just, we'll forget about it depending on what it is. I also have a completely different texture pack in here. Um, oh, ooh. I'll show you guys the texture pack I'm using. Let's see. Here we go. I'm using a default 3D high texture pack for 115. It's a little bit out of date, but that's okay. It still works pretty well. And then I have three of the vanilla tweaks on top of that just to help it work out a little bit. So that's why you probably see the rainbow XP bar, the enchantment for the tools look like regular tools, but with a little glistening going over them, including the bow. But if you look at them, they do actually have enchants on them. So let me know how you like this one. It's more 3D than the rest of them, so that's what I kind of like about it. But if you guys don't like it, then I'll be happy to switch it out during recordings, and I'm completely fine with that either way, with keeping it or getting rid of it. But let's get started. This is the world. This is kind of where you spawn in at, right over there where the center of my screen is. This is Gallagher's build. He's a man on the server. He's building a torpedo Pokemon. I forgot what the name is, but I'm sure if he ever sees this, he'll let me know, and I'm sure some of you guys know the Pokemon better than I do. Is our farm down here? Um, is actually the first thing we've done on the server was build this cow farm and then eventually chicken and sheep farm and expand it out. And as we've been on the server, we built these roadways and kind of freshened it up a little bit. This is where our first main little area was with our chests and beds before further expanding out and creating more stuff. Over this way is our skeleton spawner. I'm not going to show you too much because it's just a normal skeleton grinder. And it's actually built pretty poorly. But if you go down here inside the ladder, we have honey blocks to catch you and a killing chamber down there. So if you ever need bones, or if we ever need bones, it helps out quite a bit to have that. As we fly by the farm, you can see it. And we also have an industrial area. This is what the farm looks like. We also have honey, or bees everywhere so that when we destroy crops and replant, they reappear fully fully grown quicker than usual. Here's the beehive. I used to have a lot more bees in it. I used to fill up all the walls with these things, or the fake hives, but turns out uh, bees are an entity that lag the server if you have millions of them. So I've kind of taken that out a little bit and made it a little bit uh, quieter or less filled up just to help out the server a little bit since we were all experiencing lag quite a bit. Um, I built this path. This is probably the first little bit of path I actually built. And I wanted to have a little bit of a waterfall coming down the mountain to prevent it from looking too plain. Up here is our enchantment table area. We don't use it too much just because we have a villager trading hall, which I'll also show you. But we do have one just in case somebody needs it. This is the first house I've built on the server, and the other one I've built I'm still working on. I'm not too great at massive builds, so that one's taking me a little bit longer. But this is what this one looks like. This is the first serious, decent looking house I've ever built, and first time ever using this style of a roof as well. I'll come in here and show you. My fiance also helped me build this a little bit by collecting materials and helping me with the interior just a wee bit. It's the first storage system I used, but it quickly got overgrown, so there's nothing in there. She did the complete interior upstairs. I helped her a little bit with the aquarium right here, just because it's a little bit more technical. But yeah, I think the room looks pretty nice. Here's our bed. We're gonna go ahead and sleep in here, just because I don't like it being night on the server. Here we go. Here's our mass storage area, but again, I've since built a new storage right down there, so there's no reason to have this. Alright, we head down this way. I'll come out on this side, back to the front, and I'll show you the storage area I have. Here's the horse stable as well. Come in here, it opens up kind of an ethos style, one by one. Um, and before opening it up, it's completely dark. Oh, there's the lag. But mobs actually do not spawn in here because these are all half slabs and stairs, so mobs can't spawn even when the light level's low enough. If it wasn't for me having this texture pack on and the realms being too filled with villagers and bees, you wouldn't have a problem seeing the mechanics that I did in that. But here it is. We have quite a few of everything. All of this is actually earned, as none of it's cheated in. The way I was able to do this, and with all the same enchant, is because of villager trading halls. But that's how we get everything in here, so nobody really goes mining unless they're just bored, because all of our diamond things are easy to get. We also have a bunch of enchanted books because of the villagers, and so this storage is pretty good. A lot of other people use it as well, but for the most part I put everything in here when it's open for everybody. Let me grab a few more rockets while we're over here. Here we go. Just so I can show you guys the world and brag a little bit about my rocket collection, which that is nothing compared to what I'll show you in this place. Alright, here we go. Ooh, there goes the lag again. Over here is how we get all of our stuff. Oh, one last thing. Here's where we keep the community beacon. It can hold 4 beacons at one time and is fully made out of emerald blocks. But this is the village with the trading hall. Down here I call it Nitwit Village since none of these guys have decent trades. We just kind of keep them down here for decoration and to make the area look nice. I like uh, I like adding in things that aren't necessarily useful but still make the area look full because it just adds a completeness to the server. Here is the trading hall. I've spent countless hours in here trying to figure out how to get these guys working and then how to and then I didn't realize that you could use normal villagers. I thought you had to find a zombie villager and not just a regular villager to do this. And I had to double cure each and every one of these guys to get them to have 1 emerald enchants, and they all have pretty much every single enchant in the game and tool. So some of these came with these guys, so 1 emerald for 1 bookshelf. That bookshelf will break into 1 book, or 3 books, and then I can sell each of those books for an emerald, giving me a 2 emerald profit, which is how I got most of the emeralds down there in the beginning. And that helped me open up some of these trades with these guys. But pretty much all of their trades or for enchanted books, are 1 emerald. So you got Unbreaking, Impaling, Unbreaking at 3. You have Infinity and Piercing, all 1 emerald. Same with Mending. This guy actually has 2 Mending trades, which is really nice in case one runs out. And this guy has a Mending as well. We have a few Mendings just because, in case one decides to block their trade for some reason, due to whatever. But so now I think we have 4 total villagers that'll trade mending, so that helps. We also have cursive binding, and that might help if I want to pull a prank later on. And then we have these guys that'll do 1 emerald trades for diamond gear and tools, so that helps out quite a bit. We have more guys: Silk Touch, Loyalty, Aqua Affinity. This guy took me forever to get, and Frostwalker too. The Thorns just came with one of them, I believe. I wasn't trying to get it. Yep, Thorns 3. So that guy That guy was so annoying to get. Um, we have this guy. This is the one person or the one villager that won't do one emerald for one of these enchanted book trades. It's a 23 emeralds just because it was so high up initially that um, you'd have to cure them like 3 to 4 times to actually get it down to 1 emerald. And I didn't want to do that because this enchant of efficiency 5 is so rare or hard to get on a villager. I think I spent like 2 days on this guy, 2 Minecraft days, just to get him to have this, which I wasn't even trying to get. It just randomly appeared and I haven't seen it since. But I didn't want to risk turning him into a nitwit by turning him into a zombie villager for the third or fourth time. We also have Fortune 3 and pretty much anything you'd really want. And here's our bottom layer with these guys offering some more enchants. And I have these guys for golden carrots because we only eat the best food in the game. So that's the trading hall. It's kind of my pride and joy in the server, what I've spent all my time doing. We'll go back through the house and check out some other builds. Alright, if you head out this way, here's Nightcore's place with his castle, or his little castle. This was his first initial area. He's since moved on and didn't spend too much time on here, but he was planning on building an underwater thing until he kind of switched modes and his little mine shaft down in here. Over this way is Unknown's area. He built his build style off of Green's building in Hermitcraft 7 his starter house with the circular glass panes going into a mountain build. Here's his chest system. He used to have an automatic melon farm upstairs, but he's since destroyed it. But his starter house looked pretty nice as well. Ooh. Here is a slime farm. It's only 2 chunks, but it does the server a job. We have all the slime we pretty much need, even though it's not the most efficient. We also haven't lit up the cave, so that doesn't help too much. But hopefully we won't ever need more. And if we do, we can just build one easily since we have the beacon. But it does the job. We have about half a double chest of slime balls if anyone needs it. Here's our nether portal. We haven't yet built another hub, but we do have highways, so that's not too much of an issue. Most of the highways are made fully out of, or these 2 highways, these ones aren't really, they're still being built, but these ones are built out of blue ice, which helps out a lot. And they are quite a bit of travel. There's the end, if anyone needs to visit that. I'd show you guys, but there's really nothing much over there other than an Enderman farm built by Nightcore, who built that castle thing you saw earlier. Um, this highway is a little bit long, so I'll just meet you guys over at the other side. Alright, we're at the other side of that highway. We actually already went through the portal, and this is the server-wide creeper farm. Let's go ahead and break those blocks. We don't need those. Basically, you just stand up here, and because you're so high up, the world only renders mobs or entities that are inside that box down there. We went ahead and flattened all the area around it. You can see that by looking down and then place water to prevent mobs from spawning on. And the rivers are just have half slabs and stuff so that salmon can't spawn and such. But this makes sure that only entities are spawning inside this box down there. And the only entities that can spawn inside that box are the creepers because we have, I'll go ahead and show you. And by standing up here, creepers are spawning where they need to go, which I'll show you also that in a second. But inside this big box over here is where they will all spawn. We prevent other entities from spawning using a few tricks. We have these trapdoors at the ceiling which prevent skeletons and zombies from spawning, and the 2 block height limit also prevents endermen from spawning. Then we also have carpet right there on the floors which prevent spiders from spawning as well. And this means that only creepers can spawn on all these pads, and whenever a creeper spawns, it sees the cat in the minecart and then runs off into this water into portal systems that we have. We have 9 of these massive columns. Each column has 5 levels, and so it gets us pretty much all the creepers we need. We also have this roof up above as well to help with the lighting and some other useful features for the farm. Um, I didn't build most of this. I don't know if I already said that. Um, Sayer, a man on the server, builds most of these massive farms, but I did help a little bit out with some of these things, such as placing the trapdoors or placing some of the concrete or the glass and helping build the roof as well. But it's a pretty good farm. It works out pretty well. I should probably place a cover on this since we no longer go up here. Um, and I'll show you just how good it is in a second when I go through that portal. But as I was saying, the creepers fall down here into these portals, and all these portals hook up into one portal on the other side of this one. And then we have a sugarcane farm as well to also help create rockets. But this farm is the best farm that we have on the server. Um, for what we need. The other one that comes close to it is also built by Sayer, and it's a raid farm, and that gives us quite a lot of XP as well. But just by me being there in that short period of time, we got these 3 creepers. No, I'm just kidding. These are just the creepers that are left at the top. We got this many creepers, all these guys, which is a ridiculous amount. Um, you hit them and you instantly get just so many levels, so much that it just can't even stay inside it can't automatically go to your inventory. Then you can see all the gunpowder there too. We turned off the collection system just because we already have too much gunpowder and it already filled up what's left of my inventory. But this server has so much gunpowder now that we will never, no matter how many players we get on here, we'll run out of gunpowder, right? Let me show you just how much gunpowder we have. And this is after we turned off this system because we no longer need it. Each one of these chests, well, besides a couple of them, are pretty much all filled with gunpowder. And I think we have like what 42 double chests here, and then the hoppers fill up as well, and so we have enough to last us pretty much as long as we need. And it's also a good source for XP. Now, also up here, we're really close to this farm. We have the raid farm, still built by the same person, Sayer. Nobody helped him out on this one. This was just all him. I did some testing for him, but that was kind of it, and that was mostly because I wanted some of the things from it. But you come up here, these guys will see you, they'll spot you, they'll go down into this hole, and then you can get um, the bad omen by it, or the bad omen effect. And then once you get that, you come over this way in the ocean, and we have the actual raid farm. So what happens for this one, both of these were copied off of YouTube videos, but I do have to give him credit because even though he copied it from a YouTube video, it takes forever to create these. And the storage system is separate as well. He built that on his own with a little bit of my help, um, and giving him redstone suggestions. But you basically just stand in here. The trapdoor after a timed amount, which is set by this right here, will trigger that trapdoor to drop. You'll drop down there where a villager is. It'll trigger a raid. You float back up here. The raid will only spawn right up here since those are the only spawnable blocks for it, uh, because of how we built this. The guys will then come down this hole over here, drop down, and they'll be at 1.5 a heart damage, so you just have to whack them as you go. Once that raid is done, the timed amount will also, it's all based on here. The trapdoor will trigger again, you go down there. You'll also get the same raid effect based on the guys spawning up there with the flags. I don't have one to show you, but you go down there, triggers the raid again, and the raid will increase up to level 6, and that gets us not only tons of XP. I think in 30 minutes I was up to level 70 or something for XP. We have all these totems of undying from it. We get a lot of emeralds, but we also use a lot of emeralds, so we don't have too many left in here, but we do have quite a bit. Um, Again, just not too many right now, but I'm sure if we AFK'd at this for a little bit, we'd get quite a lot. I do allow AFK with macro setup on this server. That is one thing that a lot of people won't allow, but just because of how long it takes to set up these farms and things like that, I do allow a macro on some of these guys, just because it's nice to have the materials. And the grinding, you can only grind so much in one server before you just get bored of it. But have all these potions set up as well. And then we also, yeah, ominous banners, that's what they're called. But we also have these guys. They're kind of useless. Nobody actually uses crossbows in this server. And the enchants aren't that great, but why we kept some of these is because in case we need a really quick enchant and don't want to boot up the farm, we can go over to a grindstone and disenchant that and get a XP pretty quickly. Or we can move those in some shulker boxes and utilize that for on-the-go XP grinding for quick mending of materials. When you're done, we have cows nearby that you can use to uh, take off the bad omen effect. That farm gets us our primary source of emeralds now and totems of undying. This is what the other side looks like of that highway, by the way. I'm sure you already saw it. Alright, next up will probably be Night Course Place. So I will show you that when we head on over. Alright, Night Course Place is over with these torches over here. It's a little bit of a distance from the spawn. Again, we don't have another hub, so and some of these highways haven't been completed, but we do plan for that in the future. But this is his portal right here. When we go through it, he's built some stuff too. He's working on a castle right now. He has a villager breeder, which I haven't used, but I need to start making my own villager breeder. And the big thing he has here, this is not the way. Um, this is the way. He has an iron golem farm. And that's actually really useful for the server. We've been trying to create those for a long time. We created one in the mesa biome over by my spot, but then it interfered. The village close by in my place interfered with it, so we couldn't keep it. But here's kind of all we have from it. It's not that much, but it's been helping out quite a bit. And we only have 2 of these working right now, just because of some problems we ran into. But it's not too bad. Ooh, and I guess this guy's no longer up there either. So we're down to 1. We're down to 1 working line of it, but it still works, so it's not too bad. And here's his castle as well, and he has a sugarcane farm up there. We have a problem in the server with zombies disappearing, even though we use name tags and we give them armor and everything. So we're not really sure how to fix that. I think that's just kind of a Realms issue. Um, the server lacks quite a bit because of the amount of builds and stuff that we've taken up on here. Alright, that was his area. Head on this way. We should run into unknowns. Here we go. Here's his highway. Here we are. Yep. He has a similar build style to mine in a sense that he kind of makes a cozy feel. I think with this one, he's only built 1 house so far, but he plans on building a few more to go. He wants to create like a village out of this area, but it's a really nice, quiet, small pathway. He has a really nice bridge, and I might have to copycat this design in some of my own things just because of how good it is with a nice river running underneath it. Um, this is his main area now. He was the same one that built the green style house over at spawn. But here we are. If you guys don't know what style I'm referring to, it's green starter house in Hermitcraft Season 7 where he builds inside the cave or the mountain with circular windows. But here's here's Unknown's own main place, and he's transitioning all of his stuff over here eventually. So that's what he's working on. It's a really nice place too. It's in a birch biome. So that's all there is to show over here. Let's see if we can head over. Last place I want to show you guys would be my own main place. I'm switching over from spawn where I have been working over to larger area, which are a little bit quieter, not as packed, just to help with lag a little bit and to give me peace and quiet. I want to show you guys also just how quick these uh, these nether highways go. This diagonal one doesn't work because the bows bounce off of this thing, but if I get over here, I'll show you how fast these things really move you. Here we are. Place this down, get inside of it, turn on F3, and this is just by me holding the W, and this is with me with speed, or with control, so I don't have any potion effects or anything, and we're already there, just like that. So it's really important to build these blue ice highways like this because it'll help you get through the world a lot faster. Even if if you don't want to use your elytra or before elytras, those are extremely important. Even with us having elytras, a lot of the time I'll just use the highways instead, just because they're just as fast. Um, Here's my spot. I haven't really done too much to it. I've got an auto cacti farm over here because I need a lot of green dye for it. Um, I built this just a bit ago, so it shouldn't have too much in it, but yeah, but I use it quite a bit. I run it out over this way, back on around near the portal. I'm building a castle inside the mountain. Hopefully it turns out pretty nice. We've got a sheep auto farm here, and I plan on making these all multicolored and making the glass represent what color they are, but for now they're all green just because I need that for the build that I'm using. But they output quite a bit, so it's not too bad. I'm sure you guys have seen auto sheep farm before. Alright, here is the main hall, and I plan on putting a roof over here that's going to be made out of dark wood and maybe some stone brick as well, and some green blocks. I kind of want to create like an emerald castle, so that hopefully it looks pretty nice. I want to add a wall over here as well, and if I continue on with this series, hopefully you'll see the end of this, or maybe I'll make the end of it. I'm not too great at big massive builds, as I've said previously. And here's the throne. So I think that's about it that we have on this server. Um, If you guys do want us or want me to continue to record on this server, let me know. I think one or two of the other guys might possibly just maybe record on the server as well, but I wouldn't count on it. But they are pretty active on here. We haven't been too active in a while, but yeah, we do play on here still an active server. So if you want me to continue to play on here and record, just let me know and I'll make this into a series. As I said, I do plan on it, but let me know how you want, if you want the texture pack or the texture packs with it, or if you don't want it, or if you don't want the server at all, just let me know in the comments or Discord me, and I will get back and answer to you guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry that this is a longer one, but I did want to show you the entire world before I got off, and hopefully you enjoyed it. There's a few other things, but those builds are still hidden or off the highway. We have a flattened nether fortress, but I didn't want to show you guys that because that's pretty common in most servers. And then Sayer also has his place. He has a massive tree with a house inside of it, but or I guess on the outside. But he hasn't really shown anyone the cords yet, and so we can't really show that on screen. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like, helps out somehow with the YouTube algorithm or whatever. And I don't think it affects you guys in any way if you leave a like. So please do leave a like. It helps me out a lot.